Cosine. Let's check. We're looking for the hypotenuse, and we're given the adjacent side. That's a great choice. So cosine of 58.45. Tell me more.
And that would equal 374.3 over C.
Nice. How would you solve for C?
Okay, you divide
By.
by 374.
That's a legal maneuver. The only issue is that what you have left on the right-hand side is 1 over C. And if you can handle that, then by all means do that.
So you multiply
By.
by 374.
That's also a legal maneuver. The issue is that you create 374.3 squared,
Yeah.
and I think that's creating more work for yourself. As my friend, who is a much better chess player than me, says, that was a strategy, but not the best one. Meaning that it's a legal maneuver, but I don't think you want to go down that route. Okay. Here's the deal. You want to get C by itself.
Yeah.
Not in the denominator.
So you
Go ahead.
multiply by the reciprocal.
Of.
374 from 3 over C. Wait, you could just divide.
That works. Yes. I had to think about that because it's not what I would do.
Okay.
But let's play. Let's play with that.
All right. You could cross multiply.
Yeah, but let's play with that. Because sometimes I find things that I like through play. So you tell me, Melanie, what happens on the right-hand side?
That would be 1.
Very good. Something times its reciprocal is 1. What do you think you would do next?
Okay, so then we would divide.
By?
What did you just divide?
By? Yeah, you got to tell me more info.
I'm sorry.
What am I dividing? Just tell me what you thought.
You would do cosine of
I'm listening.
15.45 divided by 374.3.
Word.
Yeah.
Cosine 58.45, close paren, divided by 374.3. And what would you do with that?
And then would you plug it in?
I don't think you want to plug it in.
Okay.
This is what you just did, essentially. The quotient of cosine blah divided by 374.3 is about 0.0014. That becomes the coefficient of C, because it's still being multiplied by C. So, what would you do next? I'm just playing with your strategy here. So, what would you do next?
You would divide by 0.00.
So, 1 divided by that number, 715.35. Okay? I don't want to dismiss anyone's legal maneuvers. And if you did it a different way, good for you. Okay? So, Melanie, I will give you some advice because I've been doing this for a long time. Here's my advice as your coach or your mentor. Start off with what you had originally. Cosine of 58.45 equals 374.3 over C. Then I would cross multiply. So you would get C times the cosine of 58.45 equals 374.3. Does that make sense? through cross multiplication. Then, because you want to get c by itself, I would divide both sides by cosine of 58.45. And you'll get the same answer. 374.3 divided by cosine 58.45, 715.35. Good. I have learned several techniques from my students just by allowing them to go down their own route. It's another reason I do it, so I can learn too. Like I said, problems are getting more difficult now. They are not giving you the diagram. It's necessary for you to draw one, although if you're really good at it, you don't need to. So I'll do one for you, and then I'll call on a random person to do the next one. Here's what you need to know. You need to know that capital letters are angles. Lowercase letters are sides. Another important thing that you need to know is that capital A will be opposite lowercase a. So the letters that oppose each other will be the same. That's crucial. So watch me draw the diagram for number 9. It's a right triangle. You're in right triangle trig land. Later on, you will get into triangles that are non-right triangles. So you know there's going to be a right angle. It's C, because they tell you that the C is 90 degrees. Then the hypotenuse has to be little c, my favorite wrapper. This is angle B or angle A. It doesn't matter. But if you make this angle B, then this side here has to be side B. And then, therefore, that would be A. And then this is little a. You have 3 tools at your disposal with right triangles. Pythagorean theorem, SOHCAHTOA, and for any triangle, the fact that the angles add up to 180. So you'll use those to your advantage here. So let's label what we know. This is 3.2. This is 3.0. And we want to find everything that's unknown. That's what it means to solve a triangle. Find everything that's unknown. All the unknown sides, all the unknown angles. So we have 3 pieces of information. Okay. I am given 2 sides of a right triangle. That lets me use Pythagorean theorem. So a squared plus b squared equals c squared. 3.2 squared plus 3 squared equals c squared. Use the calculator. 3.2 squared plus 3 squared, and then square root that. So the hypotenuse is 4.4.
What if you made the hypotenuse A?
That would not work because you're not following the convention. Since angle C is the right angle, lowercase c has to be the hypotenuse, as per the definition of the hypotenuse. Good question. You can take out B? Oh, yes. Since it's multiple choice, we can remove some options. But I'm doing this as if it were not. So C is going to be the square root of 3.2 squared plus 3 squared. which is about 4.4. So we have 1/3 of the puzzle complete. We found side C. Now we have to find angle A and angle B. No need for a protractor or ruler. Calculator can do this for you. So I'm going to use inverse tangent to figure out angle B because I'm given opposite and adjacent there. That's not the only option though. So yeah, you just have to choose one that's appropriate. It's based on the sides that you have. What's that? Yeah, but you have to find the angles too. It doesn't matter, but it does to the extent that you have to choose the sides right. Like you can't just pick any trig function and then throw any sides in the inverse function. You have to choose the appropriate sides based on the definition. So I chose tangent. Feel free to choose something different as long as your sides are the appropriate ones. So tangent is opposite over adjacent. Units cancel. Your calculator has this nifty feature to undo trig functions. You press second, in this case tangent, and you enter into the tangent ratio, which is 3.0 to 3.2, and it will tell you the angle for which that's the tangent. 43 degrees approximately. Yes?
Why don't we do normal tangent?
Because you already have normal tangent. Normal tangent is 3 to 3.2. You are trying to find the angle for which tangent is 3 over 3.2. Yeah, here's a hint. Anytime you're solving for an angle, use an inverse trig function. So angle B is equal to the inverse tangent of 3 over 3.2, which is 43.15 degrees. Then, to find A, you can just use the fact that angles in a triangle add up to 180. So you can just do 180 minus 43.15 minus 90, or just take the complement of 43.15 since one of the angles is 90. And then you just solve. So 46.85. Okay, so I'll recap that process for you. It's not the same for all triangles. It depends on the given information. For this triangle, I was given two sides. So the thing I did first was use Pythagorean theorem to find the unknown side. That's not a necessary first step, just the one I went down. Then to find the angle, I used an inverse trig function. I chose inverse tangent. Another one is possible. Got that angle. And then lastly, I found the third angle by using the fact that angles in a triangle add up to 180. Okay. Any questions on that process? If you can do that, I would say you are a master of the right triangle. Because there's not much more that can be done with the right triangle. Okay? So you can feel good about that. Let's now check to see if people understand. So we'll ask a random helper to do 10. That person is, we'll get him when he comes back. Shirley. First, let's draw a diagram. And I just want you to tell me what I should label, or what the label should be. So what should I put here, Shirley? Yep, angle C. Therefore, this is side C. And what do you want to put here? Angle B, that's fine. You could have chosen angle A. And that equals 37.7. And then here, Shirley? Okay, so I'll put side B, just to adopt the convention I used before. Oh, what's this one here? Angle A. And yes, 2.2 is going to be the base using the convention you used. Thanks. And we'll try to make this as interactive as possible. Natalie, what would you like to do first for this one?
I did tan 37.7.
Equals.
B over B over 2.2.
Excellent. So this is a good first choice. Tan 37.7 equals B over 2.2. And Natalie, how would you solve that?
Multiply 37.7 by 2.2.
Multiply the tangent of 37.7 by 2.2. There it is. B is 1.7 meters. So we know this side now. We're 1/3 of the way complete. Okay, Skylar, you were called while you were out. We're on number 10. And Natalie has found for us side B. Your challenge is to help us find either side C or angle A. Your choice.
I'll do side C.
Okay?
So, you see the diagram here.
Excellent.
The end that C is 90 degrees, that means that it's opposite of the hypotenuse.
Good.
Let's do 2.2 squared. And 37.7 squared.
Okay, so 1.7 squared plus 2.2 squared. And what do you do with that number?
Oh, no, that's 2.2 squared plus 37.7.
Wait. So we found this side to be 1.7.
Oh, it's 1.7?
Yeah. The angle is 37.7.
Oh, okay. So it's 1.7 squared plus 2.2 squared?
Yep.
So it's like 2.8.
And how did you get 2.8?
7.7 is the both of them squared.
Very good. Okay. Square root. 2.8 is side C.
You can already figure out which one.
Yeah. Now, Vicky, how can we find the last piece of this puzzle?
To find
Angle A.
Sorry, I solved it and then I circled the right answer. You can do the inverse of wouldn't you just do 180 minus 90 minus 37?
I think that's the easiest option.
Sorry. I was looking for a complicated way.
No need. Okay, so it's just the complement of 37.7. So 90 minus 37.7. 52.3. And it's the complement because this is 90 degrees. So when you do 180 minus 90, you get 90. So then you just do 90 minus this angle. Triangle solved. We own this triangle. Any questions on 10? Yeah, so even though this is a multiple choice situation, I would be able to do it in a free response situation or an open-ended situation. Good. Let's do, I think, one more. We'll do 12, I guess. And my random helper is Scott. So we'll skip the diagram part of it. I'll just draw it. So that's C. This is little c. This could be B or A. I'll make it B, I guess. And this is little b. And that will make that A, and then little a. And we're told that big B is 23.7. Okay, what's your move here, Scott?
First thing I did was find 180 minus 90 plus 23.7.
Good. So the easiest first move here, I think, is finding angle A because you're given two of the angles. So it's just the complement of 23.7, 66.3.
Couldn't you also skip that because 66.3 is in every answer?
Yeah, so what I'm doing is I'm treating it as if it was open-ended. Yeah. And Matt, what do you think we can do to find either side A or side B? Tangent? Okay. Tangent of? Equals? Like what would be on the other side of the equation? It won't. Okay? So I don't think tangent's a good idea. I don't think that's going to get us anywhere. The reason is because we're given the hypotenuse, and tangent does not have hypotenuse in it. So try another one. Think about a trig function that has hypotenuse in it. What did you say? Secant does have hypotenuse in it. So you could use that. You could do the secant of what, do you think, Matt? So you have to choose an angle. And not the 90-degree one. I can tell you from experience that won't get you anywhere. So you can choose either angle B or angle A. Okay? So secant of 66.3 degrees. And then tell me what's on the other side of the equation. So you need to know the definition of secant, which is hypotenuse over adjacent. .7, and let's be careful here with the adjacent side. If you're using this angle, then it's B. Okay. All right, that looks legit. What do you think you would do next? You have to solve for B in this case. Divide 2.7 divided by secant? Yeah, I agree with you. So B equals 2.7 divided by the secant of 66.3. Here's the deal, Matt. I don't want to use a table of secants, even though one exists. I want to use my calculator. And the issue is my calculator does not have a secant button on it. So what do you think we could do about that? Very good. So 2.7 over the secant of 66.3 is the same thing as 2.7 times the trig function. That's the reciprocal of secant. Yeah, you said it before. Cosine. Okay, so 2.7 times the cosine of 66.3. Because they're reciprocals. So then you just use your calculator, assuming it's in degree mode. 2.7 cos 66.3. So we have found that side B is 1.09 or 1.1. And the units here are millimeters. One of the cool things about triangles is they can be used when you're dealing with very small distances or very large distances. Good. Okay, Melanie. We are very close to completion here with number 12. We have 2/3 of the puzzle complete. We need to now find side A. So could you help us, please?
Okay. Well, I don't know. I don't know where to start.
Okay, I will guide you. This is what you know. You know these two sides,
Yeah.
and you know all three angles.
Okay.
And you're trying to find a remaining side. And it's a right triangle. So you actually have multiple options because you have so much info.
Yeah, so you can do the Pythagorean theorem.
Nice job. Okay, so it's just a squared plus b squared equals c squared.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, so let's square b. We have it in the calculator already. And then c is 2.7. Square that. And then just take the square root of that. There you go. 2.9er. Oh, I see what I did. My apologies. Can happen. End of the day. This is why it helps to be slow and deliberate with mathematics. 2.7 is the hypotenuse. So it's actually going to be 2.7 squared minus 1.085-ish squared, and then the square root of that. 2.5. That looks better. Okay. Any questions on 12? Yes.
From the beginning, I did the cosine of 23.7 and like do a over 2.7. Like, is that okay?
You found the cosine of 23.7 and you set that equal to a over 2.7?
Yeah.
That's totally okay.
Okay, but then, like, I got 1.04 for like.
Maybe you
everything.
rounded. Because otherwise it should be fine. So cosine of 23.7 equals a over 2.7. So you multiply that by 2.7
Yeah.
and you get that a is 2.5. So that's my only thought, is that you rounded. Because otherwise that's fine.
Oh, maybe.
Or maybe there was just some human error
Yeah.
other than that. Yeah. Yeah, be careful with rounding. Good. Okay. So, as you can see here, for these word problems, they're not giving you the diagram. So you need to be able to draw that in order to succeed here. Here's a hint for you. It's going to involve a right triangle. So like, for example, for number 15, they're telling you that a flagpole and its shadow form the sides of a right triangle. Okay, there's your flagpole. And the shadow. Right triangle. They tell you the hypotenuse, 35 meters long. Maybe you have like a rope or a string or something, and you know the length of it. That could be a practical reason why you would know the hypotenuse there. And the shadow is 28 meters long. We want to find how tall the flagpole is. Easy, come on, man. What should I use? Pythagorean theorem. Like it ain't no thing. Okay, I think you can handle that. Good. Let's jump to something like number 20.
There's 5 minutes left.
Thank you. Number 20. From a boat on the lake, the angle of elevation to the top of a cliff is 20 degrees 4 minutes. If the base of the cliff is 886 feet from the boat, how high is the cliff? All right. Diagram. I'm on a boat. It's funny. Okay. We got a cliff. This reminds me of the trip I took with my friends to Raystown Lake in central Pennsylvania, which is about an hour from Penn State, one of the most enjoyable vacations I had. It's basically like having an RV on the lake. You rent these houseboats. Highly recommended. Cheap, too. It's like camping on the water. And there were a bunch of cliffs, and my friends decided to jump off one of the cliffs, and I was wondering how high the cliff was. And I could have used trig. I just didn't have my calculator with me. And I think this was before I had my iPhone. Okay. Right triangle. The base of the cliff is 886 feet from the boat. Somebody in period 5 asked, how would you know how far you were from the base of the cliff? I was like, bro. This is what I would do. I would start from here with my boat. I would get that thing cranked up to a constant speed. I would use the speedometer in the boat. I would then take a stopwatch and time myself, get to a location, stop, and then use distance equals rate times time. Come on, bro.
Who does he think he is? Like, honestly.
Seriously, okay? You call yourself a Tenafly student? Come on, man. All right, we're solving for this. So that's x, essentially. Yes, I know there's some error here, but we're not considering that for now. We're told the angle of elevation is 20 degrees 4 minutes. Somebody might ask, how would you know that? Well, it's very simple. You could get a protractor. You could tie a string to it. You could attach a weight to the bottom of that string and easily get the angle of elevation. Come on. Amateurs. Seriously. Okay. Yeah. Come back when you've learned something. All right, so I want to find opposite. I'm given adjacent, so easy peasy lemon squeezy. Tan 20 degrees 4 minutes equals x over 886. Okay, it's not hard.